And how the hell are we doing today, people? Happy Monday. For those of you that didn't join me yesterday, what the fuck's wrong with you? Where the fuck you been? So I hope everybody's having a great day. I am having a fabulous day so far. Let's see here. Today, we are going to talk about something that most people don't want to talk about, and even YouTube. YouTube will probably be pissed at me, but it is what it is. So, fuck it. But we are about 3 years into a global pandemic. If you are still fat, you didn't take it seriously at all. I mean, just to point out for those of you that are going to be talking shit and everything like that, the pandemic hit, and even though I was obviously a very firm advocate that the hysteria around it was massively, and I do mean massively overblown, I still lost 30 fucking pounds, downsized, stopped drinking alcohol, but on very, very, very rare occasions, made a bunch of lifestyle changes to get control of my health, to both control my binge eating and to be healthier in the long run, even though I had already been dedicated to being healthy in the long run. Just so you know, if you aren't following me on Twitter, please do follow me on Twitter, right over here, the MFing COO. You can follow me on Instagram there too, and I might go live on Instagram here in a little bit too, but they don't like me as much, and they don't tell people when I go live and shit like that. They're like, YouTube Lite. Facebook tried to delete my account today, just so everybody understands. We made it so we got it back, but they literally just tried to fucking close me out. But anyway, whole other story. I digress. But if you personally have yourself to the point where you still believe in all of the mitigations, you still think that we should be injecting everybody with an experimental therapy, and even fucking 6-month-olds, and you think that everybody should wear a face diaper and all that shit, and you're fat, you can shut the fuck up. You have no grounds to be talking to anybody about what they can do for their health and for your health. None. That was a big argument that was made. Well, you're not doing it for you, you're doing it for everybody else. If everybody else is fatter than they were in fucking 2020, I'm not doing shit for motherfuckers. I do enough. I give away free shit. I give away free advice. I talk constantly about methods to lose weight. You do you. But to think that you can, like, anybody that's overweight should just literally shut the whole fuck up about any mitigations about their health, your health, anybody's health. Like, it's just insane. We have known, it is a known fucking thing that obesity is bad for you with upper respiratory illnesses for decades. It's not even from this pandemic, for fucking decades. Being fat as fuck has been seen as unhealthy. Only when a fucking, in the last 5 years has it been like, we've been trying to say like, okay, but we shouldn't talk about somebody's health. Their health is none of your business. All the way to the evolutionary process that we're at now, where we are both going to shut down the entire fucking world to protect against a virus, and also say that you can be 300 pounds and healthy. It's fucking clown world. All of it. It's fucking clown ass fucking world. You people sound silly as fuck. It's ridiculous. I'm going to say hi to everybody, and then we're going to look through some journal articles, and I'm going to take some questions. And if you disagree with me and you are in the comments, please do speak the fuck up. I will pull you on camera today. Today is your fucking shot. If you got something negative to fucking say about my stance on the last 3 fucking years, bring that shit, bitch. For real. Right fucking now. Let's see here. That guy, what the fuck? How you doing, man? /2kin, Phil, Tifo, I like the name. Anna L, what's going on? Cookies, Janet, Lucy, Leona, Amelia, Ron, Annie, how the fuck are you? Elaine, how the fuck are you? Jessica, how the fuck are you? Philippa, what's going on? Philippa? Philippa. Is it Philippa or Philippa? Let me know. Facebook is a fucking huge dumpster fire. Humongous dumpster fire. This is a great way to start the week with lots of motivation to get healthy. Thank you. I didn't take it seriously at all. I took it pretty fucking seriously, to tell you the truth. I realized like, hey, like at some point in time, I am going to be an elderly person, and predominantly, and we're going to take a look at CDC data and all sorts of shit. We're going to take a look at every fucking thing, you know? Lacey shrinks, but I realized, sorry, ADHD. But I realized I want to be getting older and I want to live a long goddamn time. It just woke me up to like, hey, why fucking risk it? I was still at like 210 pounds, 215 pounds, 5'9" at 5'10". That's fucking big. And even though I was rocking, under 20% body fat, it was time to fucking lose some weight. It was time to fucking absolutely downsize. I'm in the process. Like I just finished my I try to downsize for 3 months of the year now. I want to, by February 1st or mid-February, by Valentine's Day probably, I want to be somewhere around 180 at like 9 or 10% body fat. Like I would like to be in there. That's still pretty big. In reference, my waist size will probably be ridiculous. My waist size is probably going to be 28 or under at that weight and that size and that body fat. But I'll also be, at 180 pounds, lean. That's good. That's adult male good, for a long time, for longevity, especially going to be, 52 coming up here this year. But Lacey, how the fuck are you? Tracy, how the fuck are you? Candid, how are you? Candid by Tenise. Tenise, I should just say Tenise, not Candid. How are you? TJ, Kimberly, Marie, Michelle, hello. Catching a few minutes of the live before I have to go. Well, have a good day. Catch the replay. Alan keeps me honest to myself. I'm fat and got 27 more pounds to lose before I can be considered myself normal. Get at it, Tenise. Let me know if there's anything we can do. For those of you that are wondering, by the way, Crystal is teaching a build up boot camp class. It's one of her new concepts. And I am going to be at these classes. I'm going to start joining her classes a lot more often now that I'm back into my heavier training phase. And I'm going to be using it as like my second workout a day. I'm probably going to grab today. I'm probably just going to grab some dailies like push-ups, bodyweight squats, those sorts of things. Maybe some TRX stuff here in a little bit. But you can join the app by getting the book. Our new book is Beyond Willpower: The Hunger Management Method. That's right up here. You can grab a copy of this book and you get the next full month of our app including the Hunger Management Support Group, which is where I keep track of my food and my vitamins and stuff like that, and also my activities. But you can also get the app. You can track all your shit on the app and all of that. And I tell you what, if you join today, we'll even throw in one of our pre-made programs, either our volume training class or something like that. If you have a TRX, Crystal's TRX program is fucking God tier. So let me know. And we're hoping to see you on there. And you also get live and pre-recorded classes, just so everybody can see. Let me give me 1 second. And this is actually, this is going to be the class that she's teaching this week. Today, she already had a group walk, and then this is the build-up boot camp. I'll be at this. Strength endurance. I'm going to sneeze because the lights. Excuse me, I'm back. How you doing? Build up boot camp, awesome class. I can't wait for it. Then tomorrow at 11 a.m. is strength endurance, then core power in the evening, a group walk again on Wednesday, and then Tabata cardio, which is an amazing class. Some Pilates, which she hasn't done in a little bit, so she's throwing that back in the mix. Strength fusion and a Tabata strength and cardio program at Friday at 11 a.m. So if you haven't joined the group, you can for $9.99 you get the book and a month of the app, and then you just pay to stay on the app for the remaining time. If you want to stay on, you get to try it out for a month. So please do check that shit the fuck out. Let me pull this away, and then Savar, what's happening, man? How are you doing? Maria, Eric the Red, King Knox, what's happening? Jiggles, Valerie, hey Alan, looking great. Do you know when No Morbidity will be back in stock at Ambrosia Tiger Fitness? It should be by Friday of this week, from what I understand. If not Friday this week, Tuesday of next week, I will be. They're going to be messaging me hopefully later on today, if not tomorrow. They are all in meetings right now at their partners in Utah. So hopefully I'll know later on today, if not tomorrow. Bam, I wish I would love to talk to you, but I don't disagree. Thank you very much. Leona, and you had it. Talipa? Okay, good. Right, good. Okay, great. I just want to make sure I was getting your name right. Chris, Marina, Julian, Yoked, Nick, what's happening? Everybody, Franklinstein. I like that. Franklinstein, I like it. I like the name. All right, so, this is a good one. I was pregnant during the pandemic. Working around the hospital and clinics was much harder than keeping myself and my family healthy. It was a rough time. I can imagine. I could not imagine trying to give birth. Like, a lot of hospitals weren't letting the dads in the delivery rooms. Like, I'm sorry, but like, you don't have that much firepower. Like nothing would have stopped me. Like that's another thing too. We can talk about a whole other different topic. But we're going to take a look at a few things now. So here's the thing. Any death is horrible. Okay. Any death. There are people that are going to be sad by it, everything like that. Even my cranky old ass, a few people besides Crystal and my son might miss me. You know what I mean? But in reality, any death is bad. However, people die. When you work in healthcare as long as I did, you understand that it just fucking happens, especially when they're either very elderly and or they don't take care of themselves. They treat their bodies like fucking shit. I am wondering what the fuck happened to our public health officials in the last 3 years. Like, first of all, they've obviously been massively absent to begin with, as we are fat as fuck. Like, public health is a complete failure. I will say that, and I'm not talking about just about the pandemic. Public health is a complete fucking failure. Public health in America, at least, sold out to corporations years and years and years ago. It's one of the reasons I got out of healthcare is because it was just all money driven, and it was not trying to actually cure anybody. It was actually trying to just get the repeat dollar, pharma and things like that. So public health officials have failed in general, and people are like, well, you don't trust the science. I do trust science. I don't trust the science, because the science is not something that's actually science. Science is something that you can always be questioned and debated. When we turn off scientific debate and thought process, that's not science anymore. It can be the science, quote unquote, trademark, but it can't be science anymore whatsoever. Public health officials have allowed the country to become sickly and fat. In the last 30 years, the obesity epidemic has climbed tremendously, skyrocketed, as well as type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, our avoidable chronic illness healthcare deaths, and avoidable chronic illness healthcare expenditures and resource usage have all simply skyrocketed. If anybody out there can argue this, like can say that is wrong, just that portion of data is wrong, please feel free to fucking speak up, and I'll bring you on camera right now to make you look like a fucking idiot. Okay? I mean, we're just going to talk in very real senses here, in very real terms. We are going to, right now, go to, this is the CDC website, updated 12/4, so 8 days ago. Give me 1 second to get to it for everybody, and we're going to go through a few things of math, and then we're going to talk about other issues, right? But numbers are important, even ones that are tragically and incredibly inflated and you kind of skewed. And we are about to look at some very seriously inflated, skewed numbers, factually, okay? These are factually skewed numbers. I can't even believe I have to fucking say this shit, all right? But here you go. This is the CDC website. I'll scroll all the way up so you can see it. This is the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. I don't know why they call themselves that, because they don't control or prevent any fucking thing, frankly. It should be disbanded. This, NIH, USDA, Department of Agriculture, a lot of three-letter agencies. We're going to be doing a video, and I want to know your guys in the comments. I might make it today. I might even go live today. We'll see. But of what I would do different if I ran the fucking country. I know it's egotistical as fuck to even say that out loud, but I have a platform. I can speak. So therefore, I might fucking just decide like, hey, I would do this different, that different, this different, that different. Why the fuck not? And then people can critique me based off of those things, and also the arrogance of me thinking that I have a right to fucking say that shit. So, and I'm totally good with. You guys can call me. I've been called many names in the course of the last couple fucking years, especially. So a few others won't really fucking bother me. You know, just I won't fucking give a fuck. You know, but the CDC. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, National Center for Health Statistics, weekly updated by selected demographic and geographic characteristics, provisional death counts for the coronavirus disease 2019, otherwise known as the VID-19. We are going to go to comorbid. You can go by sex and age, race and Hispanic origin, place of death. Place of death is kind of funny. Not funny, of course. None of it's funny. But if you take a look at it, very few people die at home. Most people in a healthcare setting dead on arrival. These are people, by the way, these people had gunshot wounds and shit. But let's go to the one that I brought you guys here for. View the table of contents. Whoops. Actually, let me do this. Okay, here we are. Comorbidities and other conditions. Please try to keep the fuck up and pay the fuck attention. And I'm not saying this for those of you that are here every single day. You guys are smart as fuck. I love you. I'm talking about the fucking morons that are going to be here to be like, oh, conspiracy theorist. You're just a conspiracy theorist. Put on a mask. That's a new voice I'm just trying out. I do all sorts of, you guys don't know this. This is a side of me you don't see, but I talk mostly in fucked up voices around my house. You can ask Crystal next time she's on. Most of the time, I don't even talk in my voice. I use like a fucking different personality's voice just to keep it spicy. Anyway, Table 3 shows the types of health conditions and contributing causes mentioned in conjunction with deaths involving coronavirus disease 2019. The number of deaths that mention one or more of the conditions indicated is shown for all deaths involving COVID-19 and by age group. For over 5% of these deaths, for over 5%, if you want to know the actual number, by the way, it's 5.1%. Of these deaths, the VID-19 was the only cause mentioned on the death certificate. For deaths with conditions or causes in addition to the COVID-19, which would be 94.9%, on average, there were 4 additional conditions or causes per death. What the fuck? So if you, when I got banned and blasted and like people and massive number of fucking death threats for saying that if you were young and healthy, this was less deadly than the seasonal flu, yeah, it's a newsflash. I was right. Shocking. I told you so again. But we can do this also. I wanted to point out that what? I just deleted. I just did something fucked up. Okay. So I wanted to point out that you can. This is a very cool graph. And you can do it yearly. Boom. So yearly, right? So then you can do it by the year, all conditions, all condition groups, and attributed COVID-19 deaths. So we are going to do just COVID-19 deaths, all of them, right? So here we go. There's a few things I'm just going to point out for everybody, right? And then we're going to do some fucking math because math, cool. Present, give me some. Hang on a second. I wanted to pull something else up. See if I can do 2 things at once. I have 2 things at once on here. No, I can't. Nope, I can't. Okay. So right now, one more second. I got to put this over here because I got to do a little bit of calculation because my brain's not that fucking sharp. In 2020, and by the way, people are like, well, it didn't start in 2020 until February. You're a fucking idiot. There's many tons and tons and tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of testing that show that when they went back and retested soil samples, urine samples, blood samples, sewage samples, that the VID-19 was in America at the latest, the end of October of 19, probably beforehand. The sheer idiocy of thinking that we caught patient 0 in February is fucking stupid. Like, we happened to catch the first person in the entire United States that had this virus. You got to be dumb. Like you gotta be a moron to believe that. Like I'm talking like, you should maybe have people like looking over you while you eat so you don't stab yourself in the eye with a fork, stupid. That's literally how dumb you gotta be. So I'm just going to point out that this figure right here, this 385,293 figure, does include people that died in car accidents that tested positive in the hospital. It does include gunshot victims, but it also includes, if you do the fucking math, there's 385,293 people times 0.051, which is 5.1% for you fucking morons. I mentioned this a little earlier. That is 19,650 people, shall we say, that passed away from the vid alone in 2020. Just the vid alone in 2020. If you divide that, just so everybody like gets this out, if you divide that by 12, that is 1,637 people a month that were young and healthy and passed away from this virus. It is unfortunate. It happens. More people pass away during flu season in the entirety than that. It's less deadly than the seasonal flu. Now, if you look at 2021, it's so strange that we actually apparently had this miracle therapy that was forced upon almost the entirety of society that they wanted to pretty much extricate you from society if you didn't want to take, if you wanted to stay, I don't know, in the control group. But it caused what seems to be, I don't know, like fucking 30% increase or 20-some% increase in fatalities. But 462,888 times 0.051, it's 23,607. Okay. So that's, it's a lot more, but these people could have also had the jibby and it's fucked up. Like for those of you that are watching this on Twitter, I'm sorry, but this is being broadcast on YouTube also. So since you don't have freedom of speech on YouTube and other places, you got to use fucking words like jibby jab and fucking stupid shit like that, but just to be very fucking real, 23,000 people, again, you divide that by 12, that's 1,967 people a month, divide that by 30, it's unfortunate 66 people a day, I will point out that like this statistically, if you look at age brackets and stuff like that, sunstroke is more of a death threat to me than this. But this is how seriously it should be. I'm going to point out that right now, if we do just all together and we don't do it by year, we just do total. Okay, I'm going to pull it up by total. Whoops, by total. 1,074,727 people over the course of the last 36 months. Let's see. So if we go here, 1,074,728 divided by 36, that is 29,853 people a month. Divide that by day, 30, and that is 995. That is about the number of people that die of obesity in a given fucking day, seeing as how obesity kills anywhere from 300 to 440,000 people a year in the United States. So the vid in total for everybody, including people that of an average age of 78 years old and 4 serious comorbidities, the people that do the fucking dying, it's about the same number as obesity, even though we ignore obesity for decades and decades and decades, and even got fatter over the course of the last 3 fucking years, you full-on fucking morons. But let's just look past all of this. Let's find out, so here's the thing. If you're super, super duper, uber elderly, and you're on like 4 medications, you should be terrified of every fucking thing. Just to be real, I used to work in long-term care, and I'm going to close this out and you can find this, by the way, at cdc.gov/nchs/covid_weekly/index.htm number symbol comorbidities. But we're going to get away from this one because I've got other stuff I want to show you. But now we're going to examine, for just the sake of examining, right? The fact that if you're under, actually, let me do this real quick. If you're under the age of 65, I'm going to do the math real quick for you guys so I don't have to pull that shit back up. But if you're under the age of 65 in total, all right, let's see, 0 to 24, there's a total of 3,845 people in 3 fucking years. And what people need to understand is that the lopsidedness of this, like the obesity factor of this, is all mostly like 95% of the obesity factor into all of this is 65 and below, because you don't find too many 65-year-olds that are obese and up, especially those that have 4 serious comorbidities, because they just fucking die of like cases of the hiccups and shit like that. I've seen it happen. They just fucking die because being fat and elderly doesn't happen much. And when it does, it doesn't happen long. But if you look at it, it's about 300,000 people or less. The 200, let's see, like there's 230, 250, 260, 270,000 people maybe under the age of 65 in the course of the last fucking 3 years. And about fucking 5% of those. So 15,000 people under the age of 65 have passed away without comorbidity of this virus, not with, of. So again, if you're healthy and under the age of 65, there is no reason for your life to be altered, impacted at all whatsoever. None. They just stole 3 years from you, basically. And if you lost a business or something like that, they just stole that. That was stolen from you. And I don't see anybody able to produce any evidence to combat anything that I just said. However, people can be like, oh, well, we didn't know it was fat people that were fucking disproportionately being affected by the fucking pandemic, which would be stupid as fuck, because these are indeed, again, fat people. And fat people, again, will always be at larger risk of all communicable diseases. They not only are at larger risk of getting the communicable disease, but they are at larger risk of transmitting, keeping it longer, having more long-term effects. These are all completely super well-known, well-documented things, especially for upper respiratory viruses, as it does sound like obese people are breathing soup just to fucking begin with. But a biggest reason for this is what a lot of people are thinking, which we're about to read a bunch of data to support, because again, if you don't believe me, fact check me, but actually fact check me, actually get to the fucking data. Don't just go to what the fucking, your favorite fucking, Dr. Fauci says, and then all of a sudden think I'm wrong, because I could, just so everybody understands, I could literally fucking destroy him in debate about this whole topic. I mean, I'm talking make him look fucking foolish. Him, the CDC director, Birx, any of them, give me 5 minutes to wipe the crusties out of my eyes, the notes on my phone, and I would decimate them in a live debate in under fucking 10 minutes. Decimate. Reality. It exists. We need to fucking enter it. But we are going to go now to just, I don't know, some facts and shit like that. This is from NPR, and this was published on April 18th, 2020. Who's hit hardest by COVID-19? Why obesity, stress, and race all matter. As data emerges on the spectrum of symptoms caused by COVID-19, it is clear that people with chronic health conditions are being hit harder. Huge fucking shock. A cold virus is going to be harder on people that are already sick. I know, crazy. It's only been that way for fucking, I don't know, all of evolution. Well, many people experience mild illness. 89% of people with COVID-19 who were sick enough to be hospitalized had at least one chronic condition. About half had high blood pressure and obesity, according to the data from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, which shouldn't be named that because it doesn't do that. And about a third of diabetes and a third had cardiovascular disease. So what does this explain? Obesity is a marker for the number of other problems, explains Dr. Aaron Carroll, who probably lost their job for saying this after a while. A public health researcher at the Indiana University of Medicine, it's increasingly common for those who develop obesity to develop diabetes and other conditions as well. So one reason COVID-19 is taking its toll on people who have obesity is that their overall health is often compromised because, again, as we state on this channel fairly fucking often, they're fat as fuck. But does obesity specifically affect the immune system? Perhaps. No, motherfuckers, it absolutely does. 100%. Prior research has shown that people with obesity are less protected by the flu vaccine because they're fatter. They tend to get sicker from respiratory diseases even if they've been immunized. In fact, researchers have found that as people gain excess weight, their metabolism changes, and this shift can make them the immune system less effective for fighting off viruses. So, in fact, if you were fat in 2020 and you didn't do anything about it, you were keeping your immune system weak. Because you, in fact, are weak. We will see that obesity is that these immune cells don't function as well, says Melinda Beck, a health researcher at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. Basically, she explains obesity throws off the fuel source that the immune cells need to function. The immune cells are not using the right kind of fuels, Beck says, and as a result, the condition of obesity seems to impair the critical immune response needed to deal with either the viral infection or ability to make a robust response to a vaccine. So in other words, you being fat as fuck, there's the flu vaccine, if you're fucking 400 pounds, why the fuck are you getting a flu vaccine? I mean, I'm sorry, it just sounds stupid. It really does. I need to get the flu vaccine because I got to watch out for my health. You treat your body like a dumpster. You're not worried about your health. Like you're just fucking doing this, the virtue signal. Like it's the same thing like a 400-pound person wearing a mask. You look fucking stupid as fuck. You look stupid as fuck. Why fucking, I feel bad for the 400-pound person wearing the mask because the last thing we should want to do is in any way fucking cause it so they have a harder time breathing. And I mean that, like as a person who fucking coaches obese people, like everything that I say is out of kindness to obese people, and people that don't understand me may not get that. But I'd rather tell you the fucking truth so you can do something the fuck about it. So you can be a full-on fucking adult and do something about it than lie to your faces. Because guess what? Most of society is lying to your faces. Most of the time to get you fat and then they fucking dependent upon them. But other times just in a selfish fashion because somebody that tells you you're fine when you're fat, they're doing themselves a favor by not being a mean person. They don't want to be seen as the meanie. So it's very selfish of them to lie straight to your motherfucking face. This disproportionate toll can be partially explained by the fact that the higher prevalence of obesity, high blood pressure, and diabetes among African Americans compared to whites. That's why it's not necessarily a racial thing. Like your genetics when it comes to race don't necessarily mean that you're going to have a harder time with COVID. What it does mean is that in our demographics in the country that African American people, black people, you're not African Americans. You're black people. You're brown people, whatever you want. But if you've never been to Africa, like Elon Musk is an African American. Okay, this is like calling it's weird to me. Anyway, whole other fucking different thing. As Dr. Anthony Fauci of the National Institute of Health / pharmaceutical industry said last week at a White House coronavirus task force briefing, this crisis is a shining and bright light of how unacceptable this is because yet again, when you have situations like the coronavirus, these people are suffering disproportionately because they're fat. Because you, as a public health official, by the way, Dr. Fauci, did not do your motherfucking job for decades. Just be real. Okay, so we're going to go away from this one. I'm going to stop sharing that one, and then we're going to go to Window Brave. Here we go. This, by the way, is what's called my Brave browser. So it is not hooked to Google. Because Google fucking hates the shit. But now, obesity emerges as risk factor of severe COVID-19 illness. We're going to open that one up. Obesity and COVID-19, ACE2, the missing portion, we're going to open that up. These are all from early 2020. The latest evidence on obesity and COVID-19, we're going to go there. Obesity could shift severe COVID-19 diseases to younger ages. We're going to go there. Why obesity is a risk factor for severe 19 symptoms. We're going to go there. Obesity and COVID, cause or effect. We're going to go there. The emergence link between obesity and COVID-19. We're going to go there. And these are all, by the way, the very first ones. How to prepare for coronavirus vaccine with obesity. Well, that should be the first one we're going to go to. Let's just do that one right here. Boom. COVID-19 and obesity. How to prepare for coronavirus with obesity. Unfatten yourself. That's how. Jesus, how fucking moronic is this shit? Fucking just get there. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. I want to do this. Motherfucker. Here we go. Okay, so with the entire world in a state of worry around a bad cold, it's not surprising that people with pre-existing conditions like fat as fuckness might feel more anxious than normal. If that's you, it is totally natural and understandable because indeed you are fat as fuck and you know you are sickly because guess what? Being fat as fuck means you're sickly. So it's understandable. The virus swiftly took over the globe. I don't think it was that swift. I think it was in fucking full circulation by like early October, September of 2019. I don't think it was that swift. Anyway, leaving researchers scrambling to understand how it works. It's a fucking coronavirus. There wasn't that much scramble. It actually behaves much like the seasonal flu and other coronaviruses. It's only right that you have information you need to stay safe and healthy. If you want to stay healthy and safe, unfucking fatten yourself. There's your advice. There you go. There's the information you need. The information you need is that you have gluttoned yourself to a state of fucking weakness to basically be akin to elderly fucking people. You have gluttoned yourself to be as frail as a fucking elderly person. Just fucking reality. Many people struggle with weight management because, sugar is seen as like a fucking daily thing, and other factors, of course. Being diagnosed as overweight or with clinical or genetic obesity, nobody gets diagnosed with genetic obesity. Not one human fucking being gets diagnosed with genetic obesity. Not one. You know why? Because it's not a real fucking thing. Is not a shameful thing. Actually, it kind of is. In today's world, when we fucking literally close down all of fucking society, I'm going to say this with the fucking thing up. Hang on a second. I'm going to say this in my whole fucking face. Right now in society, being fat is something to be shameful about. It absolutely is. We just had 3 years of closing down schools, businesses. Some businesses, people's life work are gone forever. We have destroyed the economy and literally made it so America hates itself. Like people in America have drawn the line and we fucking hate each other over a fucking cold virus that if you weren't fat as fuck out there, we wouldn't have been worried about you fucking collapsing from this shit because as seen by all this fucking data and what we knew early on is that young, healthy people were at almost no fucking risk. But instead, because we can't just look out for young, healthy people and then have everybody else have personal responsibility, we're going to close down all of society to protect fat-ass people and old people. Because that's reality. That's the fucking problem. And now, nobody's earned that shit. And that's what's got me fucking pissed off today. Nobody has earned this shit. We fucked up the fucking future of so many children to protect elderly people and fat people in America. And we are now professing that being fat is awesome when it is clear, article after article, data after data, study after study shows that people who were fat had a harder time with this and every other fucking communicable disease, yet alone the chronic illnesses that clog our healthcare system predominantly to fucking begin with. When our healthcare system is fucking clogged well more than 50% with avoidable, lifestyle-driven chronic illnesses, and yet we're going to close down the entire world because we're worried that the fucking the new cold on the fucking block might send some people to the hospital, and that might overload the hospitals. If an acute sickness, communicable disease pops up, it clogs the hospital systems. That is not what's clogging the hospital systems. The hospital system and healthcare system is already clogged with fat. It's already clogged with fat people. And nobody earned this shit. We are fatter and less healthy as a fucking nation right motherfucking now. And that is a travesty. It is an absolute travesty. I'm reading off Data point after data point after data point. I'm reading off all sorts of fucking studies and all sorts of articles from early on in this bullshit that said that being fat as fuck is indeed bad for you. And we did nothing to fucking change it. Instead, people got fatter. We closed gyms. We fucking ordered DoorDash. We fucking gluttoned ourselves on fucking pizza. People had fucking, we literally closed parks so children couldn't go out and fucking play. We told everybody to stay inside and become vitamin D deficient. We are less healthy than what we were. Our public health officials, in fact, fucking failed us. They, in fact, are failures. They should all, every single one of them, lose their motherfucking jobs for not warning fat people to lose fucking weight. It is their fault that we were at the state of fatness that we were at before all of this bullshit. And now we are just fatter because they didn't address it again. It is the biggest missed opportunity in public health ever. It is the biggest misstep in public health ever. And nobody earned it. We got fatter instead. And now we are literally at a stage in society where we're trying to literally pretend that fat ass people are not sickly. We're trying to pretend that people should be getting life advice from people that weigh 400 fucking pounds. It's insanity. Why are you going to get life advice from somebody that treats their life like it's fucking expendable? They treat their body like it's a dumpster, and we're going to have these people be influencers? What the fuck for? Influencers for pharma, that's it. Influencers for fast food and pharma. That's fucking it. That's all. It's patheticness. We know, we have known, and we have always known that being fat as fuck is indeed bad for you. It's bad for your family. It is bad for your health. It is bad for your longevity. And now that we have closed society for 3 years, we fucked up society for the last 3 years. People still have to get this experimental therapy to fucking work in a lot of places, and you can't even enter the United States without it. Still, because of this bullshit over this fucking cold that is bad for elderly people and obese people. It's what it is. It's a fucking cold. Get there. It may be a bad cold for fat people and elderly people, but it's still a fucking cold. Guess what else is bad for fat people and elderly people? Other colds. The flu. The flu vaccine, we even read earlier, does not even work as well on fat people. Get there faster. God damn. I'm going to go back to this now. We're going to pull it up just like this. What we know about COVID-19 and obesity. During this time, as COVID-19 spreads across the globe, you may be wondering how being overweight and obese can affect you if you were to contract the virus. According to the other fucking, the World Obesity Federation, these people are fucking full of shit too. I could destroy most of their fucking officials in open live debate any given fucking day. Give me 5 minutes. I don't even need the notes on my phone. I could just destroy you motherfuckers off the top of my dome. But according to those bitches, obesity-related conditions seem to worsen the effect of COVID-19. Do you think so? Could it be because they have unprecedented levels of cytokines and inflammatory markers in their body due to being in a chronically inflammatory state that negatively affects their fucking lungs and their breathing, as we can actually physically fucking hear? And oh yeah, let's not forget the fact that most of them are vitamin D deficient, and because they're vitamin D deficient, because they have so much body mass to fucking get so much vitamin D put into, that since they're vitamin D deficient, that they don't actually fight off these inflammatory things as well. Could that be it? You may wonder why this is the case. One of the physiological levels, there is a reason why excess fat can be risky, according to Dr. Carl Nadolsky, the chairman of the American Association for Clinical Endocrinologists, AACE, Obesity and Nutritional Disease State Network, and an assistant professor of medicine at the University of Michigan. There's a concern even for the metabolically healthy patients with obesity just from the excess adiposity based on angiogenesis converting enzyme 2 ACE. To break this down, the ACE2 enzyme binds well to viruses like severe acute respiratory syndrome. Nadolsky said that this suggests an increased risk of illness severity due to the amount of actual fat on the body. So now we're going to go to this one, the emerging link between obesity and COVID-19. This is on May 15th of 2020. This last one, by the way, just to remind everybody, was April 2nd, 2020. This one is May 15th, 2020, the emerging link between obesity and COVID-19. We haven't heard any of this shit, by the way, since the beginning of 2020. Wonder why? The fucking CDC director hasn't mentioned obesity in her time in office. Since she got in office, she has not mentioned the word obesity, not on any of her social media, not in any fucking speeches. She has not even fucking mentioned it. She is the director for the Centers for Disease Control when the entire healthcare system is predominantly clogged by obesity. And we pay anywhere from $2.7 to $3 trillion a year in shared healthcare expenditures for, again, avoidable lifestyle-driven chronic illness. I could destroy all these fucking people in open debate. All of them. I would destroy them. Like, make them embarrassed. Fucking patheticness. Dr. Monica Sanford, the chief of Division of General Internal Medicine at New York Presbyterian Weill Cornell Medical Center and Weill Cornell Medicine, finds that obesity is linked to more serious complications for the VID, including in younger people. That's the problem with younger people and being fat, because you have gluttoned yourself to a state of weakness. As the nation works towards controlling the virus pandemic, scientists and researchers are racing to find out everything they can about the virus and who is most vulnerable. It's fat people and elderly people. Big fucking shock. Guess who does the dying normally about these things? Fat people and elderly people. We didn't warn them, though. We didn't warn them. We treated everybody all the fucking same. Everybody was completely the same. Everybody still go to Walmart. We're just going to make it so that's the only store you can go to. We're going to close down all the local mom and pop shops. Everybody has to go to Walmart. And by the way, we are going to literally shorten their hours too. So instead of spreading it out and some people could go in the middle of the night, no, fuck, that's fucking crazy because the virus travels at night, right? So we're going to fucking close down the fucking hours of the store. What used to be open 24 hours is now only open for 12. You stupid fucks. Let's see. The research also suggests that young people who are obese, whether they have health issues or not, are still at risk. The data published in the New England Journal of Medicine on April 17th of 2020 looked at the first 393 consecutive patients with the COVID-19 who were admitted to New York Presbyterian Weill Cornell Medical Center and New York Presbyterian Lower Manhattan Hospital from March 3rd to March 27th. Obesity was defined as a body mass index of 30 or higher, with 136 of these patients were in this category. We started this registry of patients so that we could help answer some of the tough questions the frontline healthcare workers were grappling with. How is it tough to realize your entire fucking ward is fat people and elderly people? I mean, I saw the pictures. It's fat people and elderly people. Fucking silliness. Our goal was to inform physicians of what types of patients are likely to not do well using data. You mean that like 80% of the people that got this, by the way, didn't even know that if they would have never gotten a test, they would have never known they fucking had it. Just so you know, it's like 80% was asymptomatic. It's fucking ridiculous. You know? What is significant about the research? The preliminary data confirms that many doctors and frontline staff have been saying, they've already been saying it. Like they've already been saying that many of their patients who are severely ill with the COVID-19 are obese. What's rather striking about the data we have compiled is that obesity prevalence seems to be the greatest in people under the age of 65. So if you are young and healthy under the age of 65, you are even at less risk than just the generalized. That's what that means. That's what that skews to. So therefore, the people like me who are already in pretty good fucking shape still took it seriously enough that we lost 30 fucking pounds. So fucking frustrating. We're also seeing cardiovascular problems such as high blood pressure and coronary artery disease as risk factors. So what's happening here? By the way, high blood pressure, coronary artery disease, person who's normally fat as fuck too. Here's another one. This is from June 25th of 2020, and this is obesity and COVID, cause or effect. A new University College of London study published and preprint in June 2020 dissects the contribution of incidence of obesity in the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic and describes measures to mitigate the impact of lockdown measures. The severe acute respiratory syndrome, coronavirus 19, has set the world on blah, 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 blah. The lockdown toll, with physical isolation being necessary at the level of the whole population, the strain has been borne by economies. It was never necessary. Not ever. It was never, ever, 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 ever necessary. Not even a little fucking bit. So you know what? And so we can go to this one. This one is from April 7th. Why is obesity a risk factor for severe COVID-19? Let's go to here. Why is this concerning? Why are people with obesity more at risk of developing serious respiratory illness? The prevalence of pulmonary problems in patients with obesity is higher than for normal weighted individuals because they're unhealthy. Because when you're fat, you are unhealthy. How fucking hard is this shit? Again, there are many unanswered questions besides them being fat and unhealthy about risk factors, fat and unhealthy, that we don't know yet. But I think it's safe to say that patients with obesity and comorbidities that compromise their heart and lungs are likely going to be at higher risk of developing severe illness. Big fucking shock. So I just want you to think about a few things logically. Like, first of all, I am my size. I am about 185, 190 pounds right now, right? If I gained the 100 pounds back, if I weighed between 280 and 290 again, if I got over the 280 mark again, guess what my heart does? Just has to fucking work harder because it's a lot more fucking mass it's got to push fucking weight to. So no matter what, your heart is working harder every fucking day, every fucking second, every fucking minute. Your heart is working harder to pump blood to more fucking human being than it was likely designed to fucking do. That's one of the reasons why that I believe that waist to height ratio is even more of a telling factor when it comes to a more predictive and telling factor when it comes to chronic illness, disease, and outcomes and longevity, is because it measures in your frame, and in your frame, your heart is only so big. So it takes into account your frame versus your fucking your height. Okay. So and also there's the visceral fat component. There's so many things, but I like waist to height ratio better than I like fucking BMI. Not that BMI isn't still a highly predictive tool, and for most fat people, they should take it very fucking seriously, because if you are a non-athlete and your BMI is 35, you're fucked. You're not just fucked, you're fucked. Okay? We need to get to some sort of like realization that we need to take our health seriously. We had what we considered a public health issue in the last 3 years. As a newsflash, public health starts with the health of the public. We are sickly, fat, lazy, fucking, and lazy. We are lazy. I mean, most of society is fucking lazy. People are like, don't call me, you just think I'm fat and lazy because I'm fat. You just think I'm lazy because I'm fat. If you don't park your car farther away and walk close, like if you look for convenience in everything you do, you're lazy. I'm lazy sometimes. I fucking admit that. I fucking try to get the closest parking spot sometimes. And then Crystal's like, why don't we park all the way back there? You know? I'm fucking lazy sometimes. Sometimes I want to take the easy route, but I'm not lazy all the fucking time. Give me a second. Okay. But we're 3 years into this. If you're still morbidly obese 3 years in, if you're working on it, great. I'm here to help you. Again, you can get our fucking coaching right here. We have some slots open. You can buy the book Beyond Willpower. Please do. And the coaching is daily communication, weekly video conferences with myself and Crystal. And we have a second tier. It's even higher, which is 2 workouts a week that we guide you through one-on-one on a personal level. But if you are trying to take it seriously, if you're trying to lose weight and you're just struggling, my hat off to you. It's a struggle. I know better than anybody. Former fat as fuck motherfucker. Okay. And I struggle with controlling my binge eating every day. I look at it as a form of addiction. I look at my binge eating as alcoholics would put it that. I'm like a year and 11 months in of no binges, thanks to No Morbidity, which is right up here, by the way. It will be back in stock at Tiger Fitness and Ambrosia, hopefully by the end of the week this week, if not by early next week. And you can get it at Vitamin Shops, although we did get notification that that Vitamin Shop is going to be running short probably soon. And it's not like it's an endless supply at each Vitamin Shop. So if people have already got it, but I've been told it's going well. So reality, if you're taking it seriously, good for you. Let's fucking get this shit. Let's tune in every day and do this motherfucking shit, right? But if you're still fat as fuck 3 years in, I don't think you should tell anybody to wear a mask. If you're fat as fuck 3 years in, I don't think you should tell anybody to get a jab. If you're fat as fuck 3 years in, I don't think you should be advocating for fat as fuckness. I think that, this whole weird thing where like, oh my God, I'm so oppressed and so marginalized because I've eaten myself so fucking big that I can't fit in the fucking chairs at your fucking restaurant. The problem isn't the chairs. The problem is you have treated yourself like shit for so fucking long and been like, you are now a burden upon society. 3 years ago, we should have called an end to this bullshit about fat acceptance and everything like that. 3 years ago, we should have pretty much said, look, this is either nature or the Wuhan lab showing us that we need to unfatten ourselves as a fucking country, that we are in fact weak, pitiful, slob-like and fucking lazy, gluttonous as a society in America. That should have been the message. And I know it might have been a hard one, but we instead, the hard message we gave to people is that some people were essential and some people weren't. And that some people needed to lose their entirety of their fucking life's work in their fucking small businesses. We had to close that shit down because they weren't important enough because fat people were too fucking fat. Because I got a newsflash for you. Elderly people that were at high risk of this were already pretty isolated. When you're 80 years old and you've got 4 serious comorbidities, you don't do much fucking partying. You're not out and about fucking, mingling too fucking much. Fucking patheticness. Fucking sadness. Yoda, for one, told me to calm down. Yoda, do you want to come on live? Tell me to calm down to my face? Say yes or no. Say yes or no. No? Okay. My BMI was 35 in 2019, down to 29.5. That's out fucking standing, May Tai? Is it May Tai? May Tai. I think it is May Tai. That is awesome. Good for you. Good for you. Good for you. Not marginalized, maximized. It's amazing. Like, it's one of the reasons why it's just totally ridiculous. Like, all of it is totally ridiculous. The same people that are telling you to wear a mask, like, there's a video of Miss Tess Holliday. I'm not wasting my time and energy on someone who claims to know everything. It would be like arguing with a wall. I literally just produced data, like data, and you're wasting your time as you're sitting there, obviously. Reject weakness, embrace change. I love that. That's fucking excellent. I like that one too. But reality is 3 years ago, we should have encouraged people that were fat as fuck to unfatten themselves. It would have saved trillions of dollars and countless lives. If you are terrified of a cold because of your comorbidities, you should still stay the fuck in. As a news, I posted this often. Masks and social distancing were an illusion of safety. Everybody should understand that. That's the fucking thing. Like, masks and social distancing were the illusion of safety. Aerosolized vapor doesn't get stopped by masks and travels fucking 30 fucking meters. And that's what viruses travel on. You know? I mean, it's fucking simply ridiculous. So many fitness influencers were posting dumb stuff like, it's okay if you have a heavier body coming out of the global pandemic. It's fucking sadness. It's lies. And you can please use the quotes for the fitness influencers thing, because they're not really, they are just salespeople for their shit. Don't get me wrong, I sell my shit. As a matter of fact, sign up for my fucking app right here. Get my book, sign up for my app. All of you right now, get my book, sign up for my app. I'm a salesman. This is my businesses. But at least I'm telling the fucking truth. At least I had the fucking stones. At least I had the fucking balls to fucking stick by what I knew is true, instead of most of the fitness fucking professionals, especially YouTube fitness bitches that shut the fuck up for 3 fucking years and are barely even talking about it now. Like, you're supposed to be fitness and health professionals, and all of you shut the fuck up about the fucking thing affecting people's fitness and health more than anything else in the last 3 fucking years. You're all pussy ass bitches. That's why, me and Mark weren't even close at the beginning of the pandemic. That's why, besides Crystal and my son, Mark is my very best friend, because this 2020 rewrote everything. I've had people pissed, like, I can't believe you're dealing with Mark. You said you'd never work with him. 2020 changed everything, bitches. 2020 changed him. It changed me. It changed our fucking world. We're 2 grown-ass men that squashed our differences, and now, like, literally, we text all fucking day. He's my very best friend besides my wife and son. And that's because I respect him, because he's a man of fucking integrity and morals, because he did not just shy away. When he had millions of dollars to possibly lose, he didn't shy away, and he still set his fucking mind. More people should be like that. And I am telling you this right fucking now. As we're getting to the end, I'll answer a few fucking questions. I see the bitch didn't fucking take me up on it. It's always amazing how people want to talk shit, and then I give them an opportunity to talk straight to my fucking face, and then they fucking run away like little coward ass bitches. You fucking people are amazing. Like, you can't, like, I know I'm Generation X and shit like that. And when I talk shit to people when I was growing up, it was to their fucking face. And if you think that all this sarcasm just poof magically developed once the fucking internet came about, you're fucking crazy, because this is how I've always spoken to people normally directly to their face. But it amazes me how these fucking people are so fucking pussified that they can't even discuss with somebody via the goddamn internet. You guys are fucking pussies. Horribly. Horribly. Weak ass, pathetic ass. I bet your fathers are fucking embarrassed about you pussies. I know I would be. That's for goddamn sure. If anything, mask and social distancing makes you more prone to sickness. It has been known for a long time. I used to teach the OSHA class myself that putting masks on and off all the goddamn time is in fact unhealthy for you. That prolonged mask wearing is in fact unfucking healthy for you, for your skin, for your respiration. Oftentimes people can get fucking everything from fucking viral meningitis to all sorts of fucking other pneumonia, all sorts of shit from it. Dr. Fauci even fucking published a paper saying that the fucking 1918 great flu that killed a bunch of people, most of those people died from bacterial pneumonia from wearing masks. It's reality. It's data. It's all out there. We just have people people have made this fucking pandemic their whole ass personality. They've made the fucking advocating for a fucking therapy and the fucking masks and the fucking lockdowns. They've made it their whole ass personality, as if you couldn't just stay your ass the fuck inside. If you're afraid of the fucking air that other people breathe, stay the fuck inside. What the fuck? Stay the fuck inside, you bitch ass cowards. But if you are still fat, especially if you are still fat 3 years into this, don't like the fucking audacity it takes to literally fucking tell anybody else to do anything about their health or to protect your health is unbelievable. A fat person telling another person to wear a mask is literally full-on, full-blown comedy that writes itself. It's fucking hilarious. Hey, if you don't wear that mask, I might get sick. You're already sick, motherfucker. You were sick 25 Twinkies ago. It's fucking crazy. I mean, it's just fucking insane. All of it. So any questions? Preach to the choir, Alan. Generation X forever. Man, I mean, people can knock on Generation X all we want, but like, we are the toughest generation. I mean, we really are. Words don't hurt our fucking feelings. You know, like I said this, like people are like, oh my God. Like people accuse me of misgendering people. I don't misgender you. I tell you what you fucking look like. You know, I don't tell you. I will say this though. I'm doing this new thing on Twitter that if a person says my pronouns are such and such, I use the opposite. I'm not doing it. I'm not participating at all. But our generation doesn't give a fuck about that. I've never been misgendered, but if I would, I'd laugh. You know why? Because I'm pretty sure I'm a fucking man. I look like a fucking man. It's pretty fucking evident I'm a fucking man. And you can call me whatever the fuck you want. It's none of my business. It's none of my business. You can call me whatever the fuck you want. None of my business. Anyone that posted just because you're over the pandemic doesn't mean the pandemic is over you got unfriended. What the fuck? I was never under it. I always was just like, you people are fucking stupid. Crystal would be sitting in the other room like, this makes no sense. It makes no sense. I can list off 100 fucking reasons why it made no sense. And all you fucking people are too fucking stupid. Not you people. You people, again, are all smart. Everybody except for Yoda, the bitch ass fucking motherfucker in the comments section that fucking I offered to come on live to debate with me. And then they pretended like they fucking were above it. Even though you're sitting watching me, motherfucker. You're sitting watching me, probably subscribe, probably fucking hit the dislike button every fucking chance you get. You're a good unpaid intern, as my friend Elgin would fucking say. I'm not surprised. It's easier to yeah, absolutely. Let's see. What if their pronouns are yay, yem? I call them what they look like. It's not misgendering. I mean, it's not misgendering. It is me telling you what you fucking look like to me. If you don't like my opinion, okay. If you want to be offended by it, be offended. I don't give a fuck. I have no right to tell anybody they shouldn't be offended by what I say. Be offended, bitches. Be offended all fucking day. I hope you're offended. That means you care. Once again, buy my fucking book. We're just going to go about that. Buy my fucking book. Join me on the fucking Hunger Management Support Group. Join Crystal for classes tonight. Boot camp. That's, dude, I mean, the fucking trolls, you should fucking literally fucking join the fucking app. You can fucking talk to me, you know? I will not acknowledge made up genders. Me either. Me either. Me either. A dislike is still engagement. I know, shush, fucking stop it. Let them fucking engage. Let them fucking engage. Oh, I do have a question. Excellent. What is it? What the fuck is it? I'm gonna give it another 10 minutes because I had fun with this one. So, and people are just starting to ask questions. So, does your Yohimbine need to be taken in a fasted state to be effective? There's different data behind it. I'm lucky though. Like I only eat like once or twice a day, but when I do take Yohimbine, which I have some on the way, I think Mark's sending me some. For this is my harder training portion of the year. I normally take 5 milligrams 3 times a day, like right when I wake up, midday, and then right before I eat. So it's taken fasted, but I do eat on it. I think it's more important you take it. I do think that it's like, I do think that it's more along the lines of it's not super. It's not like something like it's going to be like all of a sudden melting shit off of you, but it doesn't need to be too precise. People get way too caught up in the tiny little fucking things about shit. So just make sure you take it. I take mine 3 times a day, 5 milligrams a piece, because I would have to take 15 milligrams by the data, and I don't want to take 15 milligrams all at once because that did upset my stomach a little bit. So. I can't believe people have the audacity to feel obligated to speak on misgendering when they have 20 genders and look like one, not like only one. Exactly. Alan's whole argument goes along with the bathroom bill. If you look like the gender on the door, no one questions it. It's only when you don't. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, I talked about Blair White the other day, which, by the way, she followed me on Twitter. Very fucking cool, by the way. Because I'm a fucking fan. I'm a fucking fan of hers. And I will call her a her. She deserves it. You know why? She looks like a fucking her. Is she a trans woman? Yes. Is she a biological woman? No. She's never going to be one. But I will call her her all fucking day because she looks like a her. Blair was just saying the other day how she doesn't use women's locker room because she's not a biological woman. And she's logical. That's another reason why we're fans of her here. Alan, you're a savage, and I just love you for it, friend. Never stops being the truth. Thank you, Lacey. I appreciate it. Can Vita be taken regularly while taking Immortal? Also, does Immortal need to be taken with a fat source, or is the salmon oil included sufficient? I would say the fat source is included. I take Vita with Immortal. In fact, I have Vita right here, right now. So I would say yes and yes. Just because you're offended doesn't make you right. That's my thing. Like, and just because I'm offensive doesn't make me right. You know, I tend to think I'm pretty right, and I have yet to see anybody that can come up with any refuting data to shit I say. I see a lot of people call me a racist, or a lot of people call me a misogynist, or a lot of people call me toxically masculine. A lot of people call me homophobic. A lot of people call me transphobic. A lot of people call me alt-right. A lot of people call me a Trumpster. A lot of people call me a maggot. A lot of people call me all sorts of shit, but they don't call me wrong. You know? So, well, I mean, they do, but then when I say produce data, they go to all those other insults because they can't actually produce data. Because as you just saw, I literally used their fucking data. Yeah, I mean, you can, Lacey, thank you very much. Buying more of it soon. If you buy it from any of these places, you can normally go onto the website and leave a review. Or if Lacey, if you wanted to make a video review, tag me in it, and we'll go with it. We can. That would definitely help. We'll share the shit out of that. Oftentimes, we'll. If you make a video review of No Morbidity, please let me know on Twitter. Like, send me a message. Follow me at the MFing COO on Twitter. Send me the link to wherever you shared it from. I will send it to the people at Ambrosia. They'll reach out to you by email, and oftentimes they give you like a small gift certificate or something like that, or even like a different link to get some discounts for it. So if you want to leave a review, but especially, that's great, but especially a video review would be very helpful to all of you out there. Please do. I thank you very much. That would be awesome. The Hayes and Fat Acceptance movement prove that mental illness is contagious. Well, it is contagious societally and by friend group, just the same way that obesity is contagious. Obesity is societally contagious. It is a societal contagion, especially when there is no basic, there's no vaccine for it. There's no inoculation for the societal contagion that is obesity. In today's world, that inoculation would be people saying, hey, you're fat as fuck, lose weight. But to the great degree, people like me that do that are obviously suppressed and censored often, you know? So data and facts are their kryptonite. No shit. Just bought Nomo last night from Vitamin Shop. Can I take 1 to 2 at a time at first? I swear my tummy sometimes gets funny on certain vitamins. Thank you for your help. Anne Marie, you can, but I wouldn't expect to, like, the clinical dosing behind it is what's dosed. So I would try a day or just a day or two at a smaller dose to make sure your stomach is okay, and then go to the main dose. Okay. So a day at 1, then a day at 2, and then go to it if you're still good. So, but that's a great question. Thank you very much. And let me know how it goes for you, Ann, please. Oh, definitely genetically and environmental mental illness is just as contagious as physical illnesses. There's studies done on it that it is. Stanford did a study that shows that obesity is influencer contagious. That's why people like Tess Holliday are in fact contagious to their audience. They're contagious. The I'm fat and amazing bullshit is actually negative connotation to society. I've said it a million times. Keep saying it again, and I'm right again. So to all the trolls that watch this shit, let me know in the comments if you're willing to show yourself on camera. I'll gladly make you look like a fucking idiot. But if you're gonna talk shit in the comments, at least have some fucking stones to you. You know, it's just video, for fuck's sake. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna run. I'm probably gonna go live someplace else. Probably gonna go live on Instagram a little bit later today too. And I'm gonna do a few other things. But I hope everybody has a great motherfucking day. God damn.